Wrinkles are inevitable for us all. They happen no matter what. But with Photoshop, in pictures, I can show you ways to get rid of them.
So wrinkles add a lot of character to one's face, and they're really nothing to be afraid of. But if you wanted to take them down a little bit in Photoshop, there's a few techniques, and I'm going to show you those techniques with a lovely picture of Meryl Streep here. So we want to zoom in, and we want to select the Spot Healing Brush tool. This is the easiest method to do it. It's very simple. You just simply click over it, and it gets rid of it. I mean, it's really that simple. The other technique is the Clone Stamp tool. You have a little bit more control over this. You can change the blend modes, you can change the opacity and flow, all kinds of things. But basically the way it works is you alt-click and sample a certain part of her face and then paint over it to get rid of it. And there you go. Now granted, you have to make sure that while you're doing this you do it on a separate layer. That way none of the changes you make are permanent. I forgot to do that, but this is just an example. Make sure you do everything on a separate layer. You also have the ability to kind of lighten the wrinkles so they're still there, but they're not creating as much of a look as you'd like by using the Dodge tool. You want to put the range to shadows, and you can set the exposure, say, to 50%. Make sure the brush is nice and small. There we go. And you notice it just kind of helps lighten it a little bit. So there's that method. And then finally, there's a method that is kind of similar to masking. You can add an adjustment layer. You click and hold on this little button right here and add a levels adjustment layer, and then bring up the output levels to about there. Now everything's really lightened up, and that's fine. You Command I to invert the mask that you've just created, and then grab your brush tool, make sure it's white, and just paint in. And that also helps. So before, after. And you can see that it's just helping fill this in, and you can make adjustments however you like. Now, if you do it too much, you can obviously see it, so you just keep things subtle so they're less noticeable. So the most powerful and easiest one is honestly the Healing Brush tool, but that literally gets rid of them, and you don't always want to do that. So things like a levels mask or the Dodge tool can really help lessen the wrinkles without taking them away and add character. Well, I hope this tutorial was helpful, guys. If you have any questions or requests, please send them to requests@mahalo.com, and please be sure to also rate, comment, and subscribe below.